Give it to me like.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be showing you how I made this bag that I used for this beautiful shoot. If you'd like to see the rest of the pictures from the shoot, please check out my Instagram at the end of the video. So let's get into it. First, we're going to be needing a straw board and of course our glue gun, a pair of scissors, fabric of choice, a marker or a pencil, and I'm using this plate just to map out the shape that I want. I want a circular shape, so let's get into it. First things first, you're going to get your straw board and your plate or whatever you're using to draw the shape that you want. We're going to mark the shape, just mark it out into 4 places on the straw board, just like this. After that, we're going to cut out the shapes, just like that. So we have 4 circles here. You see it? You see it? I know you see it. Now we're going to take 2 of the circles and we're going to glue them together just so that we can make the material tougher, just for longevity's sake. Okay, so now they are glued together, as you can see. Both. We've done that for the 4 of them, so the 4 is now 2. Next up, you're going to take your fabric of choice, lay it out on your work surface, and you're going to place one of the 2 sides of the bag. Just place it however you want the pattern to fit, and then you're going to cut out. The circle you are cutting out from the fabric should be larger than the straw board circle, as you can see here. This I should have done before gluing both sides of the straw board together. So I'm going to map out a handle shape. You can use a circle or a square or a triangle, whatever you want. But I'm using a square or a rectangle. I think this is a rectangle, so a rectangle. And I'm just going to mark out the shape and I'm going to cut it out with a blade. This was difficult. Yes, this was very difficult because I had already glued the 2 together, so you should do this before gluing together just to make it easier for you to cut through. Okay, my brother said this thing looks like Batman symbol. I don't see it. Do you see it? Or maybe I see it a little bit. Moving on, now we're going to get your glue. I'm using Top Bond for this because if I use the glue gun, is going to dry out real fast. So you're just going to take your glue and you're going to spread it all over the surface, as I'm doing here. Generous, be generous, not too much, but be generous. Cover the whole surface. Now you're going to get your material that you've cut out. Remember, cut with excess so you can fold in. So you lay that out, you lay it out, stretch it out very well, make sure there are no folds, and then you press it down. Okay, so there you have it. Now we're going to be folding in the excess. This is why you shouldn't cut exactly the same circumference of the circle. So we are folding in. So because it's circle, you can't just fold it without having rough ends. So I'm going to be making slits just to make sure that everything is laid down properly, as you can see that I'm doing in the video. Fold and slit. You can also make the slits before you start folding in, but I just decided to do it this way. Now we're going to cut a space for the handle. I'm just putting this under so that I don't, you know, scratch the table too much, because I already did. So here you are also going to leave excess. You're not going to cut exactly, you know, the size of the handle. So you're just going to cut out a little so you can fold in, just like we did with the circumference part. Then we're going to make slits so that everything folds in nicely as well. The slits will be at the 4 corners since the handle is square. And of course, take your gum or your glue or your bond, whatever you're using, and, you know, just lay it down. Now this is another mistake I made. My excess was too short. As you can see, I'm struggling to glue it down, so I just had to, you know, use the little excess that I had, just work around it. But when you're doing yours, remember to leave enough excess so you can properly fold in. Alright, so we're done with that. Nice and folded in. You're going to do the same for the other side of the bag. So now you have the front and you have the back. Same thing. I'm sure that you can tell while I was doing the second one, I left a lot more excess to fold in on the handle side. Now we're going to do the inside. This part is going to face inside, but I don't want it to look tacky on the inside, so I'm going to cover it up. This time around, you're going to cut exactly the same circumference because there's no need to fold in. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. There's no folding in on the outside, so you're going to cut the exact circumference of the circle, so there is no need to fold in. Or if your excess is a lot that you folded in from the front side, you can cut just a tiny little bit less. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, so it can fit in. Same thing for the handle. You're not going to have excess there because you're not going to be folding in, because if you fold in, it's going to show on the outside of the bag. I hope you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's it. Now we're going to do the bottom of the bag. Now I'm taking this wide rectangular piece like this. So this is how it's going to be. I'm just showing you guys, or rather I was eyeballing it, but I'm also showing you. So you can make your rectangle longer so it can curve in a little more, but I'm just going to use fabric to make it curve in a little more. So you're going to take your fabric, a longer piece of fabric on both sides. So yeah, again, eyeballing it just to see if the fabric is going to be enough to fold in. So I've glued fabric on the front and the back, as you can see, although one side is longer than the other, but that isn't going to matter. I'm going to leave the long side out so it can cover both sides of the bag on the outside very well. Again, eyeballing. You see, the fabric has gone upward, so the bag is not going to be, it's going to cover, it's going to be a bag, it's going to be well covered. So you take your glue gun and we glue. So You see how it is? This now is the inside of the bag. This is the inside of the bag. All your foldings should be on the inside and not on the outside because you don't want it to look tacky. So now I'm just going to take a piece of fabric and tie both sides of the bag together, just so that it doesn't wobble around too much when I'm finished doing the finishing touches. That's gluing the other part of the bottom of the bag inside. Again, just eyeballing. For all your attachments, trying to like attach the bag to itself, you're going to use your glue gun. But for attaching the fabric to the straw board, you're going to use your top bond. So do you see this? I'm done gluing all the pieces together. Now I did make a mistake because the straw board at the bottom of the bag is not in the middle. That's why the bag is tilting. So when you're doing yours, make sure that the straw board at the bottom of the bag, that's at the base of the bag, is in the middle so that it sits straight up and not tilting like mine. But overall, I still loved the bag. I loved the outcome. It was beautiful and it came out so pretty in my shoot. You can see the inside. It's well covered. It's not tacky. I'm just going to trim all the excess off. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out my Instagram for the other pictures. See you in the next video. Bye.